Before we talk about the retreat in July, I want you to talk about what your organization is, how it got started, and what you all do.
Well, it got started because I'm a 13-year Army veteran, and a lot of military vets that deal with a lot of PTSD and mental issues, and depression is a big one of them. And unfortunately, 22 veterans a day take their own life due to suicide. And I came real close to joining the ranks of the 22. And I called a fellow veteran, it happens to be my brother-in-law, and I was like, listen, I'm in a bad place, and I need to go for a ride. So we got in the Jeep and we spent 4 days on the back roads of Arkansas, and it was absolutely the most wonderful thing that I ever could have done. And just being able to talk to him and somebody that knows what I've done and where I've been, and it's a lot easier for a vet to talk to another vet. And after that, we did it again the next year, and we took a couple other vets with us, a couple friends of ours, and it worked great wonders for them. So we're like, well, let's see what we can do with this. We're too many vets are disappearing every day, and we decided, well, listen, if we can do something, if we can help, then let's start getting this done. And Operation Tears of 22 was born, literally out of a sheer idea,
So you do really reach out to local vets. How do you find them, or how do they find you?
It started off really by word of mouth and by Facebook, and we built into a website. Now this is our third year, and I mean we're slowly, we're baby stepping, like we like to say, we're baby stepping because we don't want to fail, we don't want to give up, we don't want to fail. And but a lot of it is word of mouth and just really getting out and going to different veteran organizations, whether it be the VFW or even the VA. My brother-in-law lives up in northern Missouri, so he's got an area up there covered. One of my board members actually lives in Idaho, and I was in the military with him years ago. And so it's kind of spread a lot through, mainly, like I said, mainly word of mouth, because one vet tells another, and it spreads pretty quick.
So this is not just local vets. You guys are reaching out pretty much regional wide.
Oh yeah, we actually have an ambassador in Louisiana now. We have guys that come up from Texas. Our event this year is actually going to be over in Oklahoma. The first year we had it at Burge Adventure Center down in Ozark, Arkansas. And so we try to kind of get out of the immediate area, because we feel that's like almost a necessity to pull the vets out of their immediate area of operations, as we like to call it, and get them out and just be able to settle them down for a little while and give them that rest.
So this retreat, July 13th through the 16th, where will it be, and who can come out to this?
Okay, so it'll be at K River Campground in Moyers, Oklahoma. It's about a 3-hour drive from here in Springdale, but everybody's welcome. Absolutely everybody is welcome, even if they're not a military spouse or family member, whatever. We've got such an outpouring of support from the public, from just the general public. It's phenomenal. But we encourage not only our veterans to come, but their families too. And that's one thing we try to do that kind of differentiates from everybody else, is we involve the families too, because they need to know how to recognize the signs of suicide. They need to be able to understand better how to talk to their veteran. And it's so far so good. I mean, it seems to be working wonders. And we figure if we can do it one at a time, then we're doing good. So
how many veterans would love to come to this event? but there's still that stigma of PTSD and not wanting to go. What would you say to them in order to get them to go to this event?
Well, see, this is it's a safe place. We don't judge at all. You know, we're a bunch of brothers and sisters. We're one big family, just like it was when we were all in that camaraderie that we had back then. We find it again, and it really pushes you back into that brotherhood that we all miss. You know, everybody misses it, whether they want to admit it or not, when they get out, because it's a big family, and we find that again. You know, and who better? You know, like I said, when we don't judge, we allow them to talk as they see fit, and that's why we do it in a 3-day thing. You know, because when first people get there, they're, you know, kind of standoffish and not real sure about everything. But by the 3rd day, you know, we're all standing around the campfire having a great time. You know, and we try to unplug from the outside world. You know, we try to shut cell phones off and just be in the moment and really get that mental reset that helps them get through the next year.
Do you have to register for this? And if you do, how do you do that?
You know, we ask that you register for it, and you know, we take donations. Veterans are always free, and we call it non-military personnel. We ask for a $20 donation for the event because we try to feed everybody. We get live music. This year we're doing some crazy things like a tricycle race down there. You know, I mean, just having a lot of fun. We got a cornhole tournament. You know, and we get our vets out on the trails in Jeeps and stuff. We got a bunch of the local Jeepers from around here and Oklahoma coming out to give vets rides out on the trails. So, you know, they don't have to be in a Jeep. If they're not in a Jeep, we'll find you an empty seat. So, but we do ask you to register mainly just for head count. You know, just so we can try to plan for our food a little better. You know, we do have Facebook, and it's Operation Tears of 22. At Facebook, we have tearsof22.com. They can find my phone number. Our email is tearsof22@yahoo.com. My phone number's on there, and I answer my phone all the time. I don't care what number comes up, and I tell you, I've talked to more telemarketers than I care to. You know? But that one chance that it may be a number that I don't recognize it, but it could be somebody in need.
You know, and having an event like this, is there any way of knowing, and even in the 3 years that you have been doing this, is there any way of knowing how many lives have been saved?
Honestly, no. There's no way of really knowing. Now we've had some very obvious cases. Last year, I call him a young man, but he's quite a bit older than I am, and we call him Pops. And he just happened to wander in to K River on a whim. Didn't know anything about us or the event was going on, but he's a veteran, and we welcomed him and his family like family. You know, welcome into the Tears family, and he still to this day, he comes up and he gives me a big hug. He said, "I have never felt like I belonged more somewhere than I do right now," and that to me, you know, it is a great thing. I mean, just the smiles we put on these guys' face, it's great.
All right, Matt, thank you so much. And what a great program. And I hope you have a very successful 3-day event. I appreciate your time.
All right, I appreciate it, Daren.